and gentlemen, Ben Bailey.
Hello! Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 everyone. This is the way we start the show. If you find it annoying, you really should go. Twitter, you're already behaving poorly. Twitter causing problems before we even began. Twitter, trying to reconnect. You know, for a social networking site, you're not so good with the connections, Twitter. You just keep dropping it and dropping it. Hello, 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 everybody! Welcome to Working From Home, episode number 79.
Wow.
79 episodes. That's right, people. 79 plus hours of total nonsense for your viewing and listening pleasure. Pleasure. As you please. As you please, at your leisure. Okay. I don't know if you guys noticed, but as per usual, I've got an alcoholic beverage, a Stella Artois, my favorite beer. I love it. It's simple, it's basic, it's delicious. It's the same every time. And I got to tell you, folks, I love beer. Beer pretty much never lets me down. When I open a beer and I'm expecting beer, guess what's in there? Beer. Every single time. But I like a fairly light beer, up to maybe an amber ale. Bass ale was possibly my favorite beer of all time. It's a bit heavy, but delicious. I believe it's an amber ale, they call it, or maybe it's a pale ale. I don't think it's a pale ale. It certainly doesn't look pale. It looks a bit red. It looks a bit rouge in complexion. And it's certainly not an India pale ale. And if you're good with acronyms, you'll know exactly what that shortens to. IPA. People talk about IPAs. Oh, I love a nice IPA. I hate them. I don't like them. There's not an IPA that I like. So if I ever go to India, I will be drinking the palest, not the least pale. The least pale of the ales that I could find. And here's what I liked about Bass Ale. It helped you get to the bottom of it all. That was their slogan. So cheers, everybody. Cheers to beers and big ears and big noses. Let's drive by. Let's do it. Let's drive by and have a proper toast. Oh, shiznit. That's right, I said shiznit. At this portion of the show, it's time to take a sip of your beverage, whatever it might be it apple juice, grapefruit juice, ketchup, tomato juice, whatever it is, take a sip of it. You don't have to wait for the cash cab drive-bys to take a sip of your beverage. You're free to sip them throughout the program at your leisure. But when we're doing a drive-by, you better damn well take a sip, man. You better participate or nothing at all, because nobody will ever even know. But I'm just saying. Totally unback-upable. Someone threw up a question, did Bass really stop making beer? I don't know. I think you could probably still get it, but it's just not common. You don't see it anywhere. On several occasions, I've seen a bar that had a Bass Ale sign in the window, and I'm like, oh, yes. And I go in there like, we don't have that shit anymore. I'm like, well, bait and switch. It's the old bait and switch. So I'm taking your sign. And now I'm going to put it in my house. And then people are going to come to my house and be like, I'll have a Bass Ale, please. And I'll be like, I don't have that shit anymore. You can't get it. You can't get it nowhere. But you could brew it. You could actually buy a kit specific to brew your own Bass Ale. What? Well, there's a bit of off-timed laughter from the other side of the room.
To me.
Was I?
Yeah.
Were you or were you not motioning to Claire? Tonight's movie quote number one. Were you or were you not motioning to Claire?
I reacted like I knew what that one was.
Like you knew?
Ooh.
Ooh. Let's see.
A nice early sparky howl.
Oh, did we get a howl just now?
You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it at
Very
all.
mournful. Very mournful.
Mournful, and he was.
Yeah, well,
he's a
you
wailing. The dog
talking
is
about the
wailing.
bass.
He too loved Bass Ale, so I can see that's why he can understand his mournfulness, lamenting the old days when we were able to get to the bottom of it all. It didn't really help me get to the bottom of anything except the glass, and then of course it was refilled, and so there was no bottom. There was no bottom for me. Nobody's named the movie yet. Were you or were you not motioning to Claire? I was. It was only because I didn't want her to know I was a virgin. Gave you too much. I gave too much away.
Oh, I like that. That's an extra hand for.
An extra hand, and then
Maybe someone will get it now.
somebody got it. Breakfast Club. That's right.
Oh, no.
One of the ones so oft quoted on the show. Twitter has just been trying to reconnect since the fucking show began. Like it's the little red thing every 30 seconds trying to reconnecting. Like I
think Twitter's in danger of getting replaced.
replaced by what though is the thing. We get our largest numbers from the twits. I'm gonna restart it, you guys. Like this is driving me nuts. Or do you want to check on it? Like there's no one watching on Twitter right now. I'm so irritated at Twitter. I should tweet to Twitter about like dear Twitter.
Dear Twitter.
You stink. No live views. Yeah, I wonder why. Because you're just losing the connection continuously. Now I can't even shut the darn thing down.
It just shows it as buffering when I look.
Yeah, it's lying to everyone.
Live buffering.
It's just absolutely... It's bullshit is what it is. Come on, Twitter. Get your shitter together. I'm quitting and restarting again. I'm checking our internet connection. I know this is an exciting show. This is called Ben Checks the Internet Connection. It's gripping. I guess I could try I'm going to try oh, no, I'm not. It's looking for a password, even though it knows it. I was like, I'll try the other server. Maybe we'll have better luck. Couldn't even get on that one. All right, so here we go. Here we come, Twitter. We're coming back at you.
I got to ask, where is the tech guy in all this?
Yeah, I haven't seen the... it says we are live. I think we're live on Twitter. Twitter, are you there?
A notification that you're live.
Oh, chime in and say hello, Twitter, and show us some hearts. You've been battered. You've been yelled at and kicked out.
Maybe that was from Facebook.
And brought back. Oh, that's from Facebook.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. It went away.
Oh, someone says I gave up on watching this on Twitter a couple months ago and went to YouTube. Awesome.
Nice.
Fantastic. It'd be great if you guys could do that.
It'd be good
for everyone, except for Twitter.
For
Twitter
them more than...
Yes, for you guys. Now we got 50 some. All right, the numbers are coming up to normal. Twitter, we're so sorry, but you suck. I don't want to say anything to offend Twitter, but Twitter sucks. So yeah, I'm having a beer. I'll be honest, folks. It's kind of a bit of hair of the dog, if you know what I mean. Take the hair of the dog that bit you. That's the expression. For if you're hungover, get drunk again. This, my friends, I have to say, might be some of the worst advice that anyone has ever given anyone else. I feel like shit because I drank too much. Well, you should probably drink some more then. It just keeps, it's like sweeping dog shit under the rug and expecting that at some point you'll just have a clean floor and the smell will go away. Bad advice. Don't, I mean, while I'm living it. It's easy for me to judge while I sit here on my high horse. A lot of animals involved in expressions. I'm sitting on a high horse, taking the hair of the dog, whose bark was worse than his bite, which we covered in last week's lecture. His bark is worse than his bite. True for 0 dogs. It's not true for a single dog on the whole planet, except maybe the dog that bit you. I don't think so. No, it's not. It's still not true for him either. It's not true for any dogs, but it's true for all of the trees, as we figured out a week ago. Interesting afternoon around the home here. We saw a mantis, and he was, of course, praying. Seems to be all they know how to do. The mantises. You never really see a mantis doing anything but praying. They must just be terrified. They're extremely religious. The mantises, constantly praying their whole lives. You never see one dancing or juggling or fucking and then getting its head eaten. Although everybody knows about that. That's a fact that no one missed. The praying mantis. That's what they're praying about. I hope I get laid and my fucking head doesn't get eaten right after. Because that keeps happening to me and it's really fucking depressing. Please, God, don't let her eat my fucking head again. Please. But luckily your heads keep growing back, so I'm not sure that's true though.
What?
Do their heads grow back or are they done?
No, I think
They're just dead?
just eaten. I don't know if it's just the head.
Well, I thought it was the head.
Why waste
That's
the
what
body?
I heard. Well, I don't know. Because maybe the head might come back.
I think you're thinking of lizard's tails.
I just don't know how the whole thing works out. I'm trying to find something
Well,
to
educate
believe
the
in
people
here. I'm
then.
trying to find something to believe in. Like, if you could pray to the point that your fucking head gets eaten and you're still okay, I might start praying. And here's my question to all the mantises, whatever they're doing out there in the world. Is it worth it when you finally have sex with a lady mantis who also was praying, and then she eats your head? Are you thinking like, oh, it's fantastic. So worth it. Go ahead and eat my head. I don't care. I've been praying my whole life for this. And finally, it's happened. Thank you so much. Thanks. So here's my theory about the mantises. I believe at some point there was like a mantis reckoning. And all the mantises that were doing anything but praying, they're gone. They're gone. And so the ones that were praying were like, well, I'm going to keep fucking praying because you know what happened to the other mantises. What's the plural of mantis? Could someone send that into the home office? Mantis. How many mantises are a praying? All of them, because of what happened. Like mantises that were doing anything but praying, they just vanished. Poof. Gone. Bowling mantises. The ones that were playing croquet or backgammon. Backgammoning mantis. There's a game I don't understand, backgammon. I remember playing a few times as a kid and pretending I knew what I was doing, and I just had no fucking idea. Wait, there's dice, and then there's like two different colored, like cookie wafer things. They look like Necco wafers, and what do? You roll, and then you're like, oh, well, now I have this many on this triangle, and these less on the other one over there, and ha, I win. And then anyone who knows what they're doing is like, no, you don't win. You in fact have no fucking idea how to play this game. Go back to foosball, which I just want to make a statement of sweeping. I know it's broad sweeping, and it may offend some of you, but foosball fucking sucks. Fuck foosball. You want to be frustrated and have bloody knuckles? Play foosball. Because it feels like you should be able to like kick the shit out of that thing. Twitter just died on me.
Do you want me to do it?
I got it.
You got it?
Oh, I got it. Here we come, Twitter. You son of a... We're going to go live 27 times on Twitter tonight. Let's go, Twitter. Our tweet was sent. Well, it looks like we sent a tweet, and now everyone's looking at the wrong side of the room. Hey, Twitter, you sons of bitches, you escaped again. Sorry, but is it the mantis? Is it me going after the mantises? And Reek's trying to reconnect again. Twitter, I hate you. So many viewers on Twitter that I don't know what to do, but you just keep sucking every week, and everyone's paying the price. You're the one bad seed. Twitter, you suck. Twitter, you suck. Let's sing a song on all the other platforms about how Twitter sucks. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And these are the clever words. There, it goes like this: Twitter, you suck. Twitter, you suck. Twitter, you suck. Ready? I guess we don't have to do it now. The fun part was writing it. Just coming up with something so clever as that. Twitter, you suck. Twitter, you suck. We still have 50 viewers on Twitter somehow. You guys are troopers, man. It's like you signed up for a movie and it's like, here's a little... It sucks, and I feel for you. And for me. It's, it sucks on both ends. So if you're getting really frustrated, keep that in mind. It sucks for us too. Let's try to keep that in mind for everything, if we can. Just in all walks of life, all aspects of life, not walks. There's only how many different walks of life are there? I guess everyone kind of has their own. You ever see somebody and you're just like, oh my God, is that really how you walk? Sometimes as a dude, just like looking so huge and so tough. You see like a big muscular guy with a weird walk, don't say anything. It seems fine right now, babe.
It's not.
It's got 39 people on it.
I can't get to it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I just finally got into a bit! It's not you. I'm mad at fucking Twitter. I updated you son of a bitch!
Let me take care of it. You keep going.
Oh, I don't even remember what I was saying anymore.
You were talking about walks, and you had a man walking along with his head back.
Yeah, and I was saying if you see a very large, muscular man with a funny walk, don't imitate his walk and then laugh out loud, because he will turn around and say, I will fucking kill you. And I'm speaking from experience. Dude was like, that's the fucking day I leave you dead in the street. I'm like, jeez. It's not my fault that you walked that way. I just did a really good reenactment of it. Your tweet was sent. Oh, Twitter. Why must you cause such trouble? Why must I drink out of the side of the can? Here's a tip. Drinking tips with Ben Bailey. Aim the hole in the can at your mouth. Try to line that up with your mouth. Makes it easier to pour the beer in. Maybe Emma's got the magic touch. It looks like Twitter's rolling along here.
Nice.
There are many different walks. I have different walks. I have the just out of bed and my legs don't work yet walk. You know that one? If you have to get up and you overslept, or someone rang the bell and you're like, who the fuck rang the doorbell when I'm sleeping? And then you're like, I have to hustle straight-legged like a penguin, shuffling along, and then finally, at some point my legs just start loosening. That's a walk that people know, the morning walk. Oh, look, his legs don't bend yet. I think he slept on his back again, and he's old, and it hurts. If you're a young person, keep this in mind. When you get older, it's gonna fucking hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot, and you're gonna be fucking exhausted. So have fun running around now, because one day you're gonna be like, I don't feel like running around no more. But everything hurts, so I gotta get moving. I gotta keep myself moving. Yeah. That is my advice to you, for real. Keep moving. Keep moving, everybody. Keep moving. Don't sit down. Not right now. I mean, you could stay with us. Or do jumping jacks during the show if you want. Don't sit on your ass all the fucking time, you know what I mean? Because it's not good for you. You got to keep moving or you'll lose the ability to move. One day you'll be like, oh my God, I can't even lift up the remote. I'm so out of shape. I'm so out of shape I can't change the TV channel. I'll just have to watch the world's strongest man all day again. Things have not changed for me. I still love, if there is a world's strongest man competition on the TV, I am watching. Even though I hurt myself watching it one year. They used to do a world's strongest man marathon on New Year's Day, and I would just park myself and watch it. I know I've told you guys before, but we saw it. There's a new one was on, so we were watching it a little bit. And Emma's like, I can't watch anymore. I'm starting to get stressed. These guys are squatting 700 pounds for like, how many reps can you do? And it just looks like they're going to break in half. Like there's no way their body can, you know. They had to pick up like 2 I-beams with handles on them that weighed 825 pounds. And like 2 of them could do it. And the other guys are just like, fuck that. I can't. This is ridiculous. Who signed me up for this? I would love to like put Magnus Magnuson. Yes. I would love to put like some ordinary dudes in there just for perspective. Like I think it would help a lot. Because all of those guys are giant dudes that can like lift boulders and shit. Just put like one like Gomer Pyle or Beetle Bailey motherfucker in there just to. I'll do it. I will volunteer. I'm a pretty big guy, right? I'm 6'6", or used to be, and I weigh about 220, 225. Put me in there. I'm gonna look like a twig next to those dudes. And I'm not gonna be able to lift any of the shit. Like just so people realize. People see these guys doing it and they're like, oh yeah, it's a very large man lifting something that looks moderately heavy for him.
Yeah, maybe I could have a go at that.
Yeah, maybe I could have a go. And then like, I'll come in and I'll go, here's me compared to you. And here's me compared to these guys. And here I am trying to lift a boulder and I can't even fucking move it. You know, I feel like those shows could benefit from a little perspective. Put some grade school kids in there. Put a couple of young girls in there and have them trying to move 825 pounds of I-beam.
A class of
Like, that's a whole class. That's how heavy that is. Like, you could put several people on top and the shit wouldn't matter. Those guys would just be like, all right, you want to go for a ride? I'll give you a lift. Wink, 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 wink. But that's fun. So I enjoy those shows. Check that out if you haven't watched it. It's very entertaining. Once in a while, as with a lot of sporting events, there's a horrible injury. I'm not going to lie to you. Once in a while, you're like, there's no way that guy can carry that Oh, shit. I was righter than I thought. There are moments in those where you go, oh, no! He's going to have to learn, how to code or something. Because he's not parking cars without starting them anymore. I'm laying in a chair like, oh, my back hurts. These guys are literally like carrying a Volkswagen on their shoulders. And like, that was one of the competitions. You pick up a Volkswagen and do a little dance. Grab a Chevrolet Avalanche and dance an Irish jig. Up next, the next event, the building tackle. These guys are going to run from Newark, New Jersey, straight into Manhattan and bring down the biggest building they can find. And then, that's not a real event. I don't think people could really tackle buildings. It'd have to be small ones, you know what I mean? If it's more like a bit of a Godzilla thing. They've got like fight little ones and they just run in tackling buildings, you know what I mean? Otherwise it wouldn't work. You just run as hard as you could and then whack. Good TV. Might make for good TV. Oh, another of the big men failed. Another mark on the wall. So far, nobody's succeeded in tackling this 5-story brownstone. They just keep smashing into it and bouncing off one after another. I don't know who came up with this competition. I think it was Ben Bailey. What a douche. Something you guys maybe should know about me. My bark, not as bad as my bite. And I've got quite a bark. You don't want to get me barking. Whew. Just ask Sparky. When Sparky was a pup, I read that you could, if you want to train them, a good way to do it is to sort of act like the alpha dog would, right? So, dogwood. You just said dogwood, that's a tree. By accidentally, you said the name of a tree. So do it like the alpha dog would do within the group, the pack, if you can't get the dog to behave. So I just barked at his little puppy ass one day, and it changed his life. It changed both of our lives. Were different. Like I was yelling at him not to do something, and then I just went, "Ruff!" And he was like, looking around frantically for the big dog that just barked at him. He didn't know it was me. It might have worked training-wise if he had known that it was I who made the incredibly accurate and frightening barking sound. There's a new good expression, Jeff Watkins. What would the alpha dog do? I like it. But yeah, I barked at Sparkle Bark, and it worked. I mean, he just like his little butt was on the ground in a as quick as you could say Barkle Bark, which maybe you can, maybe you cannot say that. You guys are like, I'm not even trying. That's not even wood. Ain't nobody here need to say Barkle Bark. Bark. You sons of bitches. Let's do another drive-by, guys. Cheers, everybody. It's a cash cab drive-by, folks, which means I move this little cab that's kind of like the cash cab. It even says it on there. And we all take a drink of our beverages and think of how lucky we are to be alive and kicking, drinking beers and hanging out and laughing it up, just to be alive, just to be around. What else is there, really? Yeah, cheers, guys. Keep in mind when we're doing a cash cab drive-by, that is the portion of the show and you are supposed to sip your beverage, so please do. And keep in mind you're allowed to sip your beverages at other times throughout the show as well. You don't have to wait.
Oh, that's a great public service announcement.
Yeah, I don't want people to feel like they have to wait for the little cab to take a drink.
No, then.
Yeah, take another one now. Go ahead. I'm gonna. Nope, fooled you. Did you guys go for it? Because I didn't. That's like when you're like, your friends are like, all right, we're all going to jump in at the same time because the water's cold. And you're like, 1, 2, 3, and they all go. And then you're standing there like a douche. I just did that to you guys with beer.
I think that's the preferable way to do it. Like,
which way? Everybody jumps at the same time?
No, I mean, that's a bigger downside if everybody takes a sip of the beer and you don't, for them.
Yeah, no downside at all, really. But fun, and yet fun for me. It's a win-win. Yeah. Ha, tricked you. And you guys are like, we don't give a shit, Ben.
We're drinking beer.
Ain't nobody keeping track of what you doing. I was a pool rat. I don't know about you guys. When I was a kid, I lived at the pool. I loved it. I was there all day. Inevitably, you would end up playing Marco Polo, which is a game that no one should ever play because everyone is cheating at that game right out of the gate. It's right. If you're about to get tagged, you don't say polo. You just don't say it. The other person's right here. They're like, Marco. You're like, slowly moving away. And then he's like, as soon as you're out of reach, polo. Marco. And then you don't say it again. And then the person's like, fish out of water. And everyone's like out of water, but nobody. Fish out of water. And everyone's like, nope. But I distinctly heard 5 splashes right after. Well, there was some other kids in the pool. But this is your pool and it's only us, so everyone's fucking cheating. And it's fair enough that you don't say polo if you're about to get nabbed because the person who's it inevitably has opened their fucking eyes several times. The first time you don't get an immediate polo response from multiple mouths, you just open your fucking eyes right away. Boom. So we should just make that part of the rules. Like if you're playing Marco Polo and you're it, every 10 seconds you can open your eyes for 1 second. And if you're not it, there's no way you have to say polo when the person's about to touch your face anyway. It's bullshit. It always ends the same way. One kid is it, and everyone else is just gone. And he's just like, Marco! And no one's saying anything. He's still got his eyes closed because he's an honest kid. Marco! Where are you guys? Marco! And then he goes back to the parents, the kid. You're playing Marco Polo, and everyone just left me alone and blind in in the shallow end. The parents are like, "That's it, no more Marco Polo." A minute later, the kids are playing Sparko YOLO. You clever little sons of botchkas. No playing Marco Polo or any variation of words that sounds like Marco Polo. We're gonna play Blind Man's Bluff then. Hey, fuck you. That's just land Marco Polo. It's the same thing as Marco Polo without a pool. We got a pool. You're not playing Blind Man's Bluff. A friend of mine had a kid, named him Marco. She all thought it was a great name until he got lost at the pool and started calling out for him. Marco Polo! We're really looking for somebody! Shut the fuck up! Pretty funny, right? Except we never found him. We never found that kid. But what a game. It's still going on. That's a very dark ending. It's a very dark ending to a story that luckily is totally fictional. Doesn't matter what the ending is, because I made all this shit up. You know what I'm saying? So don't sweat it. Okay? All right? You understand? It's bullshit, so don't get angry or upset about it, right? You understand what I'm saying? All right, good. I'm a little hungover, or was earlier, but not too bad. I tried to curtail. I try to maintain, take her easy. At a party with some good friends, which we haven't done in ages. It was so nice to like go to someone's house and like have it was like a house party. I was like, oh shit. I can't believe we're like at a party. And I was like a little drunk at a certain point. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, I'm so happy to just go out and have some fun again. And everyone's like, okay, let's wrap it up. The big guy's getting emotional. Let's. No, I just want to stay for another hour and tell you guys how happy I am to be here. That's great, Ben, but you're ruining the party. You're emotional and you're loud, and honestly, it was a great time. I had a great time, and for those of you that were there and don't remember, so did you. You had a fucking blast. Time of your life. I hope you had the time of your life. Oh, it was good fun. We had music. There was some silly dancing.
Oh yeah.
We had a hockey stick because it was my hockey buddies that we were out with, and their ladies, and they had a hockey stick with 4 shot glasses mounted on it. So we were doing team shots, hockey stick shots. Someone says Pedialyte and Gatorade will help. Thank you. You sound like a real pro. You're drinking baby food. Here's what you do. You drink until you fall down. As soon as you open your eyes, baby food, Pedialyte. I'm good, man. I really actually. I had a pretty solid buzz, but I didn't put myself in any kind of jeopardy. As far as today, I felt okay. Granted, it was about 2 o'clock when I got out of bed, something like that. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is not unusual for me. 2 p.m. Was it 2? Or was it a little...
It was 2.
It was about 2-ish. Some people, they just can't believe that I sleep that late. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you're so lazy. I'm like, don't you want to, hear the other half? You know that I slept till 2. Are you thinking that I went to bed at 10 like you did? And I just sleep for, how many hours is that? I sleep for...
I think they think you just did what they do until they go to bed.
Right.
Until you went to bed.
They hear the one half of it, and they the other, they just fill in the other half. I went to bed at 10 and I sleep for 16 hours a night or something,
Yeah, they sit on the couch from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock and then go to bed.
Right.
They think you sit on the couch from 8 o'clock.
Until 4 or 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
But I'm up working. That's what I'm doing. I'm drinking a little, but I'm working too. Or I'm like working out, or I'm doing stuff. I'm up and I'm doing stuff. Sometimes till 4, sometimes 5 in the morning, right? So if I get up at 1 p.m., doesn't mean I'm lazy. I worked a very long day the day before.
Yeah.
Comedians have different hours. Thank you very much, Con. Right, you are. We do. We are weird. We're strange animals. But we're not lazy. We're certainly not lazy.
Oh God, no.
So different, I would think.
Me,
Comedians
I can't speak for
are.
other comedians.
Yeah, well, maybe there are some that are, but I don't think so. I think most
You gotta be pretty
comics
self-motivated.
are pretty fucking motivated and work it pretty hard, and
Otherwise
I wish that they would all just give it a fucking break. So you guys just back the fuck off and give a guy some room. Nocturnal, yes, that's right. I am nocturnal.
Totally.
And also, I stay awake at night. Who do you think you are? And it kind of runs in my familia. My father is the same way. He's up very late, sleeps in. And other people, they just can't. It's like this weird, they think it's amazing. You stay up that late, and what do you do? I'm like, I just watch the clock. Okay, time for bed. Make your own hours. That's the dream. You are absolutely right. Someone who had a very long and funny, interesting looking name on YouTube. It is the dream. But sometimes it's a little inconvenient. You know, like back when we used to have to like go to the bank during banking hours. I'd be like, well, I got to get my shit together and get to the bank before they shut down. If you see comedians in the daytime, they have rabies. Whoa. Stay away from them. They're not supposed to be out here during the day. They will bite you. I don't know if they have rabies, but they'll bite you. No. They're probably doing press. Right? You see a comedian in the morning, they're doing press, trying to sell tickets. You know, go do a local radio show. With the local shock jocks. I gotta say, I always liked radio. I enjoyed doing the radio part of things. You could be a little nervous at first, you know. And some of them will like kind of come after you a little bit. And if the radio doesn't go well, you might not sell. You know, it'll affect your ticket sales. Like if you know. So you gotta morning zoos, exactly. You gotta try to have fun with it. Go in there and act like a fool. And some of them will try to shock you and ask you like very personal questions, which doesn't go well with me because I don't care to share that information. But you know, I've always had a good time with it. I remember doing radio in San Francisco once, and this kid just goes, "So, tell me something about yourself." I'm like, you know, it's 6:30 in the morning, and I got in at 2 a.m. So, didn't you Google me? Did you? So I used a line that, like, I mean, come on, how hard is it to do a little bit of the time? You could do it on the way to work if you don't have a. If you don't get to it before that and have a producer that would do it, it doesn't take much to have a better question than tell us something about yourself. So I used a line that I heard a college friend of mine say, and I don't know what it's from, but I said, I enjoy skiing and I'm not afraid to cry. And they were just... What? I'm like, hey, don't look at me. You brought us here. Check your notes. Oh, that's right. You don't have any fucking notes. I should have been like, well, when I started doing dirty jobs, everything was different. When I first began as the host of Dirty Jobs, I had a different name. But yeah, I always thought radio was fun. And there's always someone there that makes the old, I always knew I had a face for radio joke. Everybody always told me I had a face for radio. Which is them saying, like, I'm ugly. Everyone always told me I'm ugly. Like, if that's how you look, don't go anywhere where people are going to be looking, only listening. And it's not like radio is the only place. Like, you could have a face for accounting. No one's gonna be like, oh, you want to be an accountant? You're not hot enough. Nope, you're too ugly. Try radio. Oh, you want to be a mountaineer? You want to be a mountain climbing guide? Nope, you're not sexy enough. Try radio. Try radio. You're like,
Okay, I will. People keep telling me to try radio, so I guess I will. They said I was too ugly to be a mailman, so I'm gonna do radio instead.
a face for radio. It's the voice that matters. It doesn't matter what your fucking face looks like when you're doing radio, which is kind of the point, but there's a lot of other occupations that have been thrown aside. There's plenty of other things you don't need your face for. Yes, that did sound a little bit like Mike Tyson.
It wasn't on purpose. I didn't mean to make it sound like Mike Tyson on purpose. Well, it just sort of happened that way.
I was like, what's the worst voice? You should try radio. You're so ugly. You should try radio.
Oh, yeah? Okay, thanks.
On second thought, television. Radio's not for you.
No, why not?
You're too ugly for radio. I was gonna do radio, but I didn't have the face for it. Have I gone far enough with this? Or have I gone too far? One man with a face for radio, but not accounting or mountaineering, must fight his way up the corporate ladder despite his awful looks and terrible voice. In theaters Friday. Ugly, not radio, not accountant, not mountaineer. Ugly, bad-voiced mailman. In theaters Friday. Theaters. In theater. That's a fun voice. The movie guy. Do you guys remember Movie Phone, where you at a point? It just seems so incredibly antiquated now. But there used to be you could dial Movie Phone and it would tell you movie times. You know, and the guy had a great voice, and it was similar to mine, so I could actually do that. Like if my phone rang, I'd pick it up and I'd be like, "Hello and welcome to Movie Phone. If you know the name of the movie you would like to see, please press 1." And my friends would hang up, thinking they somehow called fucking Movie Phone.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But it'd be like, "If you know the name of the movie you would like to see, please press 1."
Wow, you must have done it very well.
I did it well enough to fool my friends. They thought they called the wrong number, but it's just so funny. Like, there are remaining showings today at 2:10, 4:45, 6:51.
Wow.
If you would like to select the showing at 4:45, please press 2. And there's like this whole super convenient thing that took about a half an hour. But it was like, at that time, it was like, oh my God, Movie Phone is awesome. Really? What was so good about it? Well, we could just push 17 buttons on the phone and then our tickets are already bought. So how do you get them? Oh, you still have to get them when you go there. So you still have to go to the window where you could have just walked up and said 2 tickets to Shit Sandwich at 4:45. Yeah, but it's so much better on the phone. And they were landlines. It's not like you could even do it. Hello and welcome to my... I used to have a cheesy bit about that guy at he just talked like that all the time. Like at the dinner table, he'd be like, "Tonight we are having ham and mashed potatoes with green beans. If you know the name of the item you would like to pass, please say so. Yes, I will pass you the..." And then his son just frying pans him. For the 3:45 showing of Kill Your Dad with a Frying Pan, please press bong. Oh, those were fun old times back in those days. We had an answering machine. It was like the size of a VCR. Had 2 tapes in it. You could watch them playing. There's all these dials and shit on it. It was just like such an amazing piece of equipment for the time. And like, yeah, somebody calls, it'll answer the phone. The machine will answer the phone. And then like you just wouldn't answer the phone just because it was so cool just to see the thing do it. You know, you're all home, but nobody, you know, because the thing's going to pick up. And the tape started playing. Hi, you've reached the Baileys. We're not home right now, so leave a message and we'll call you back. And we're all like, oh, that's so cool. Should we answer? No. Nope. Just let it do its thing. And I was one of those douchebags. I mean, there was all kinds of, like, you could buy tapes to put in your answering machine and have these outgoing messages that were funny, you know? Like, there'd be like, there's like a rap one. I'm sorry, but I am not home. And I'll be back before too long. Just leave your info at the beep. And you're like, wait for the beep. You gotta leave your name. You gotta leave your number. Wait for the beep.
Oh,
like,
wow.
they were so bad.
And people spent money on them.
People bought them. You could buy them on late night television.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They were, and there was all kinds of them. There's like all different variations. I think there was like 60 of them on the tape. But I preferred to make my own. I had a tape that had old school TV themes on it, like 100 of those. So you might get, my machine might have like I Dream of Jeannie on it. You know, or whatever. Some TV theme, and then, or I'd have music blaring. This is the most annoying one I ever did. I'd have music blaring in the background, and the machine would pick up, and I'd be like, hello? And it'd be like, no. Music crank. And I'm like, hold on. Wait, what? I can't hear you. I'm going to turn the music down. And I don't turn the music down. I come back. Fooled ya. You got the machine. I'm not home. Leave a message. People, it'd be like, when I listen to them later, it'd be like, boop. Fuck you, man. Boop. You asshole. You. Oh, but I had good fun.
I was going to say, you never had so much fun being called an asshole.
Oh, I had so much fun. We had, like, the old telephones that, like, kids don't even know what they are now. We had so much fun. It's just, like, hours of entertainment. You could call people randomly and say the dumbest thing you could think of and hang up the fucking phone because nobody knew who was calling them back then. No, There were no numbers, there was no caller ID, there was no star 69, which was for a while you could, if someone called you could call them right back with that. And then that changed the game. Like, we'd call people and be like, your cat is in our tree. And they'd be like, we don't have a cat. And we'd be like, well, we don't have a tree. Whack.
What would you say if they had a cat?
We'd say, come on over, he's in the tree.
And then just hang up on them.
Well, we'd keep going as long as we could.
Oh, all right.
When I was in college, we would call people, and I would pretend to be a radio DJ. And I'd be like, congratulations. I can't remember the name of the station. This was down in Virginia. And we'd be like, I'd be like, hey, it's who? I can't remember the guy's name, but I could do a voice to sound just like the actual guy. And I would have people doing really stupid things like it was like the Tukey Bird call. Do the Tukey Bird call, and you win tickets to see Blues Traveler, you know. And they'd be like, Tukey.
What?
We'd just be laughing our asses.
What's the Tukey?
It was a thing they did on the radio down there.
So people knew what
it was. So we just call a random number and get these people Tukey, and we'd write down all their info, so they thought. And WNOR, Norfolk, Virginia. Holy shit, someone knows it. Do you know of the Tukey Bird? It was pretty funny, man.
So do you think they were like calling the station and going, well, where's that
Oh,
t-shirt?
totally. I'm sure they were. Like, I won last week. I did the Tukey Bird call in front of all my friends.
Oh my God.
I never got my tickets. They're like, dude, Blues Traveler isn't even playing. They broke up a year ago. What the Somebody's fucking with you, man. Oh, this is a great story, actually. Blues Traveler makes me think of this. When I used to drive limousines, which I did for years, great job in some regards. Driving can be tough, but it's a great job. I loved like the freedom of it, and it was cool. I got to meet a lot of people, and it wasn't always the same, which I liked. but so I had a phone in the car. It was like one of the first cars that had when people first started having phones in their cars. And Stephen Wright had a brilliant joke about the outgoing message on your answering machine for your car phone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm home right now. I'll call you back when I'm out. Pretty sure it was Stephen Wright. But so I had a phone in the car. And so half the time when you're driving a limo, you're in the car by yourself or some part of it. So I'm driving along and I hear there's a contest on the radio. Call in, and if you can stump us with a movie quote, call in right now, and if you can stump us, you'll win tickets to see Blues Traveler at the Garden State Arts Center, which is now called the PNC Bank Arts Center. So, no offense, PNC Bank, you're not alone in that. The commercialization just upsets me. But so I'm like, holy shit, I know a million movie quotes. I'll call these guys. I'll stump them if I can ever get through. So I'm driving and I'm calling, which I should not have been doing. But I did, and I called, and they fucking answered. And I'm driving down the highway talking to them, praying that the connection doesn't get lost. And I say, I got a quote for you.
Yeah.
And I say, here's the quote. There's two bulls standing on a hill looking down over a field of cows. A young bull and an old bull. The young bull says, hey, why don't we run down the hill and fuck us one of those cows? And the old bull says, why don't we walk down and fuck them all? Which is a great line, and Jeff Watkins nailed it. It's Colors. And you probably could name both actors, too. Yep, Duvall and Sean Penn. Well done, Watkins. But so I gave them that quote on the radio and stumped them. They didn't get it.
With the profanity?
No. No. I said bang instead of fuck.
Nice.
And I said ahead of time, I'm going to edit because there's bad words. Stuff you can't say on the radio, no matter what your face looks like. But so I stumped them, and I won tickets to see Blues Traveler at the Garden State Arts Center, which I was pretty pumped about.
Yeah.
And then we went to the show, and they brought a DJ out. DJ Swamp was his name. And he DJ'd for about 45 minutes. No, I'm sorry. First, Chris Rock came out, who was not listed at all.
Yeah.
He came out and said, yeah, we're going to have a great, awesome show tonight. Maybe he came out later. I think maybe he introduced DJ Swamp, or DJ Swamp started. And then they had an awesome act, Michelle, terribly difficult last name, Cello or something like that, who was awesome. And then they brought DJ Swamp out again, and then Chris Rock came out again. Like, we were like, where the fuck is Blues Traveler? Like, it was 2.5 hours into the show time, the allotted time for the show, and we hadn't seen or heard from Blues Traveler at all yet. And I honestly feel like they called Chris Rock because they were like, he lives a half an hour away, and somebody's got to come down here and kill some time because they're not here, or we can't get them on stage. So it took forever. It literally was 2.5 hours. Blues Traveler finally comes out.
Yeah.
They play 3 songs and say goodnight.
Wow.
And the place goes crazy. People were throwing full unopened beers at the stage.
Jesus.
Smashing the instruments. Somebody smashed right through the fucking bass drum. Just
Wow.
and everyone's screaming and yelling. It was like a real fucking scene. And I was like, we won this. This is the best thing I've ever won. Tickets to a riot. I don't know what happened. I think one of them was sick or fucked up and couldn't perform.
Someone was passed out and they had to revive them and they could manage to get them through a few songs.
Yeah, it's the lyrics in the Floyd song. That'll keep you going for the show. Come on, it's time to go. They're giving him coffee and drugs or whatever he needs. Get out there and fucking play. There's 20,000 people waiting.
Jeez, but you need to make some kind of announcement if that's the case.
They should have been we're very sorry, but...
We're so sorry, but...
We're so sorry.
A member is ill. We didn't want to not do a show, but... Oh, God. That's not the way to go.
Yeah, no, it was brutal. It was rough.
Wow.
And they didn't even play the big hits that everyone wanted to hear. They played like here's a couple of tracks off our new album.
No.
Yeah. And they didn't play the big songs that everyone wanted, and to see him wail on the harmonica. I think
come out and advertise your new album for the 3 songs that you give everyone.
Yeah, well, they were supposed to play for an hour and a half at least.
Yeah.
Instead of about 18 minutes. I think he was unwell, honestly, John Popper.
Yeah.
And I met him once at Corner Bistro in the city. He was super cool, super nice guy.
Did you ask him?
I didn't, and I've spoken to Chris like 100 times.
All right.
Not that we're like buddies. I know Chris, but we know each other. And I just never remember to go, hey man, what the fuck happened at that Blues Traveler show at the Garden State Arts Center back in '98 or something,
Yeah, you have to remember to ask him next time.
I might have actually asked him once, and he just
What? When?
Yeah, he's like,
When?
what are you talking about? So, anyway.
I've asked you this before.
Yes, Colors, great movie. I don't know how well it holds up, but it was at the time, it was a great movie. Robert Duvall, Sean Penn, Maria Conchita Alonso. Pulled that name out. Holy shit! We're almost at an hour, aren't we?
Just about to say, do you want to have a guess at what the time is? I don't know if you could see on any of the devices in front of you.
I know what time it is. It's time to have a sip of Stella. Wow, it has been almost an hour. Guys, if you haven't already, please make a donation to the charities that we push here on the show. They are very worthwhile, and we have, through your generosity, helped a lot of people by doing this show. So,
No Kid Hungry said thank you already.
Did they?
Did a reply.
Oh, good. Yeah, I see someone donated on Instagram. They're right in the feed on Instagram and Facebook, or you can go to nokidhungry.org or feedingamerica.org.
And they are actively telling us regularly that they appreciate everything you guys have been doing to help. So thank you.
Yes, thanks to you from them and from us. If you'd like to donate to us, which we are fine with, Ben Bailey Comedy is the Patreon, or you can give me a tip.
Ben Bailey Comedy is the Venmo.
Yes, Venmo, Ben Bailey. Ben Bailey Comedy is everywhere. The more of you guys that switch over and watch this on YouTube, the better for us. We can actually monetize that and make a little bit of money and pay for the tremendous overhead that goes. This show is so expensive to produce. It literally costs us nothing a week. That's not true. There's a little bit that goes into it, but anything you guys want to do or can do would be appreciated for the charities, for us, either way. As usual, it is Sunday, and here on planet Earth, that means it's going to be at least one, if not several, ridiculous holidays.
Alrighty.
Am I right about that, or do you want to do a news story?
We don't have to do a news story.
Let's wait. We're already at an hour, huh? Right?
Yeah. I can do them next week.
Okay, yeah. So we'll save the news story, and we'll go right to Sunday.
I was going to mention stuff, but...
Oh, what stuff?
I don't remember. It was like probably 40 minutes ago. I thought...
You thought of something?
Oh, when I get to talk, I should say.
I really think like 5 minutes in, I am Charlie Brown's mom for you. Like, I'm just like...
No.
You're like, oh my God, will the guy ever shut up?
No.
Someone's like 31, only 34 people watching on YouTube. But over the next few days, it's kind of great. We put these things out on the platforms, and then they grow. Like, people watch at their same time every week. Not everybody's with us right now, but thanks again to you guys for tuning in and staying with us. If you haven't subscribed to Ben Bailey Comedy on YouTube, please do that. There will be some ads. Hopefully they won't be too annoying, but that's how we make a little money out of it.
That's a way you guys can donate to us for free.
It doesn't cost you guys anything that way.
Watch and skip an ad for a few seconds.
Yeah, watch it on YouTube, and then you don't have to pay nothing, but we make a little something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, tide us over a little bit during the pandemic.
A little something to tide us over, you know what I mean?
Oh, and Ben does have shows coming up.
I have offers. Thanks for reminding me. Excuse me. Nothing on the books officially yet, but a lot of offers. 18 cities offers to do live stand-up performances in 18 cities in these United States. we will have more info about what cities those are and when. Maybe by next week. I'm not totally sure,
That'd be cool.
but that's the good news is yes, I'm gonna be back out on the road doing some live shows within the next couple of months, you guys. I can't wait, and I'm also terrified. I'm gonna be in LA in October. The first 10 days of October are gonna be in Los Angeles.
Cool.
So we'll be doing some club dates there too. I'm not sure. Things have changed out there a little bit since I was out there last, but hopefully I will be doing shows at the spots I normally do, which is the Hollywood Improv and the Comedy Store, and occasionally the Comedy Magic Club in Hermosa Beach, which is an awesome place. So yeah, let's hear it. There's some weird holidays.
There are, as
I can
always.
hear it. I can tell. You look like you've got some good ones. What have you got?
Woody Wagon Day.
I'm sorry. What? Woody Wagon Day.
Yeah.
Is this like an old school like wagon, like wooden wagons made of wood, or
No,
Woody wagons?
No, like cars.
Oh.
Made of wood with like wood, because
Like wood paneling on the side, or
yeah, like the ones not with that fake wood paneling, but like ones that during World War II, steel had to go to construction of ships and whatnot.
right?
And so auto manufacturers started. There had been some made early on before they knew how to like do construction with steel and manipulate it and stuff. But then they started making them en masse, and using wood because it wasn't steel and they could do that for the paneling.
Imagine you're just like out there sanding your car,
Yeah, and so
and it just gets wet and falls apart.
Yeah, after the war finished, the popularity didn't continue because they're harder to maintain and it's more expensive and takes them longer. It's harder for them to make them.
Wood is so not the right thing to build cars out of, right?
No.
But obviously they had good reason for it. All right, and those are
Yeah.
called Woody wagons.
Yeah, and I guess that's what those like. I never like there wasn't any like wood paneling cars. I never saw one in Australia, but I would always see them on the old movies here, and I'm like, oh my god.
You mean just the paneling on the side?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
oh,
when
I
was a
remember those.
kid
The
and
Country
in
Squire
Australia,
station wagon,
I'm
yeah.
just like, oh my god, that just looks horrible. Why? Like wood and a car, they just don't mix. What is
Simulated
it?
wood finish.
Yeah, but it must have been like they must have been trying to make them look like the old Woody wagons.
The old Woody wagons, yeah, the Town and Country. And we had it like
about that
made it
today.
to minivans. It made it all the way to like when minivans were new, you could get your minivans with wood paneling on the
paneling,
side,
yeah.
like an old station wagon. Woody wagons. All right, we're celebrating them today. Who else? What else?
Wrong Way Corrigan Day.
Wrong Way Corrigan. There's got to be something.
What do you want to know about?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Wrong
so-
Way Corrigan.
So there was a man,
Mr. Corrigan.
yep, an American who wanted Douglas Corrigan, who really wanted to fly from New York to Ireland, and he applied for permission to do it and just got knocked back.
To like fly himself, pilot himself.
Yeah,
okay.
he wanted to do a transatlantic.
Is there a year when this was? Is this like pre-Lindbergh? Like, would he have been the first guy to do it?
No, he was inspired by Lindbergh.
Oh, okay.
But so anyway, he
That's quite all right.
he was applying for permission and he never got it. But then in 1938, he did a flight
He just did it.
from California, where he lived, to New York, and then again said, I want to do this. Can I have permission? And like got knocked back.
Again.
So he said, okay, I'm flying back home. But he didn't. He flew across the Atlantic.
Instead of going back to California, he flew to Ireland.
Yeah, he flew to Dublin.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And,
Way to go, Corrigan. You deserve a fucking holiday.
And he maintained 28 hours later. He flew in a plane he built himself. And when he...
I bet there was no beverage cart on that fucking... 28 hours it took him?
So, 28 hours. He said,
Did it have like flapping wings and he's like paddling like a bicycle crank? How the fuck could it take 28 hours to get to
Yeah.
Ireland from New York
Yeah.
and still stay afloat?
Yeah, he said
That's crazy.
he said as he took off, cloud cover prevented him from accurate navigation, and he went in the wrong direction.
Oh,
And when
no.
he finally cleared, he found himself over water, so he continued flying
That sounds like bullshit to me.
in the hopes of landing. Yeah, complete bullshit.
I accidentally went to the place that I've been trying to fly to for years.
Which
Oops.
is in the exact opposite direction to the place that I was supposed to go to.
And the people in New York said, wrong way, Corrigan.
And I continued to fly even though I wasn't over land for 28 hours. And
Wow.
and
I hope he stayed.
and then he landed in Dublin and said, I just got in from New York. Where am I?
Boy, are my arms tired.
But he maintained the whole time that no, it was an accident. I went the wrong way. So yeah, he got dubbed.
Wrong way, Corrigan.
Yes.
I love it. That's amazing. What a
Yeah.
great story.
And
Way to go, Corrigan.
Yeah, and then he flew back.
You're full of shit,
Oh,
but
no.
way to go.
They suspended his license for 14 days and made him come back. He and the plane come back on a shift, but that was the big.
They made him. I don't understand how they could make, like, I want to fly to Ireland. No.
Yeah.
No. Oh,
Well.
okay. See you later. Like, we said no. I get it. I understand. Okay, what else have we got? That's a great story, by the way. That's your news. That's your news
Then
item.
he came back. He wrote an autobiography, and then they made a film about him, and he starred in it, and
Wow.
and got paid like $75,000 like back in 1938 to star in the film, which was like they said, like a lot of years worth of income for him at the.
That's awesome. That's a great story. I love it.
Yeah, so
Wrong way, Corrigan.
it has wrong way card.
Well, I'm here now. Let's at least have a proper pint.
Yeah, that's the it's easier to ask for forgiveness than
Yes.
than permission.
Exactly. Don't ask permission. Do
Story,
it, and then be like,
classic story.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
And deny I didn't mean to for your entire lifetime.
Comedian Emo Phillips had a joke about that. He was a very funny guy. He's still around, still doing it, as far as I know. I haven't seen him since pre-pandemic times, but he had a bit about praying when he was a little kid. He was like, when I was a boy, I prayed for a bicycle. My mother said it's not proper to ask God for material items or objects, so I stole one and asked for forgiveness. Great bit.
Nice.
Great bit. Very funny guy. All right, so Woody Wagon, Wrong Way, Corrigan. Do we have more?
Stick out your tongue day.
Done.
And National Tell an Old Joke Day. And I
Oh,
think you covered that.
Did I tell an old joke?
Well, from the movie quote.
The bulls?
Yeah.
The walking of the bulls?
Running.
Yeah.
running and
Okay.
walking
I
of the
guess I
bulls.
kind of did. I got about a zillion of the old jokes. I could do another for Tell an Old Joke Day. So tell an old joke. Wrong Way, Corrigan.
Stick out your tongue.
Woody Wagon, stick out your tongue. Is that it? Is there more? Is there?
I thought 4 was enough. I have,
4 is
I
good.
have
I'm
another
just-
one if you want.
Okay. What is it?
It's Pi Approximation Day.
Okay. Okay. Like the
The number
the
pi.
number,
The
not
num-
like an
yeah.
actual pi.
Yeah.
Approximation. Okay. I can get down with that.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I think we're good. I
Are
think
you
we're
ready?
good. Yeah.
All right. I just have to.
All right,
find-
guys. It's time for Sunday.
Here we go.
This weekend, one day only. Stick out your tongue and show some appreciation because it's Stick Out Your Tongue Day. Do it while you're driving in an old car with wooden paneling on the side that was made of wood during World War II because it's Woody Wagon Day. And you better turn around because you're going the wrong way, Corrigan. Now go out and tell an old joke. A guy walks into a bar with a duck on his head and the bartender says, "Where'd you get him?" And the duck says, "I don't know where he came from, just get him off my ass."
like it's National Tell an Old Joke Incorrectly Day. I think I made it work, but that's not how the joke goes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for donating to the charities and tuning in every Sunday. We will see you 1 week from now, 9 p.m. Eastern. Here's Emma, and she's not tiny. I'm just very long. Yeah, that's it. Let's juggle some fucking chickens.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Bailey!
All right, that's it, guys. I'm Ben Bailey.
I'm Emma Gleason.
This is Working From Home episode number 79. We'll see you next week with episode 80. See you later, sucker!